Welcome to Living United. My name is Sandra Uni. I'm the Executive Director of the United Way of the Brown County area. And once again, I feel honored and blessed to be able to share some of the wonderful things that are happening in our New Ulm area with our partner agencies and other agencies that are here to provide hand up and a pay it forward kind of philosophy. And so I have two ladies with me today. Melissa Hudson and Stacy Gore. And first, I'm going to ask you to just tell a little bit about who you are and what brought you to MRCI, and then we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, so Melissa, you're on.
Okay, I am Melissa Hudson, and I've been with MRCI for 14 years, I think this month. And I was working at a group home for 20 years, and my clients worked at Mankato's MRCI, and I just loved everything that they represented. And so when a job was open, I applied for it, and I've been there ever since. So I'm currently the day service manager. I've had a few different roles in my 14 years. So I oversee our community programs and our in-house programs.
Wow. Oh, so it's a good fit.
It was a good fit.
Good fit, good move.
Yes, definitely.
Change is good.
Definitely.
Got it. Great. And Stacy?
Yes, I am Stacy Gore, and I have been with MRCI for 10 years come November. The way that I got to MRCI is I was just looking for a new job, and I grew up in Mankato, so I always knew what MRCI was, and it was always something that I thought I would love to do that. And so I started in our employment programs, and then I went through multiple programs too, and was a day service manager with Melissa, and now I am a community relations manager for MRCI and doing that.
Excellent. So you're like the head cheerleader.
I am the head cheerleader.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we have to bring these titles down.
Yes.
I know.
You're a cheerleader.
You know, I think I should probably change my title to head cheerleader.
Yeah.
I'll get on
Let's
HR
ask
with
that.
that. Yeah.
Let's get that.
Yeah. Just don't be one of the mean girls.
No, absolutely not.
One of the things that's exciting about the MRCI is it always seems to be growing and expanding and morphing into even bigger and better programming. And you said MRCI, or its like mind, has been over 70 years.
Yeah, we started in 1953 in the Mankato area. And so, yeah, that's 72 years, and we are all over Minnesota.
Yeah, and I think that time frame of 75 years it must be like this philanthropic reawakening, because we're just a little over 75 years. A lot of these organizations that are backbones of our communities all kind of fall in that area right now. So that says a lot for the communities that we serve, and that they had the vision and willingness to fund and support and help us develop great programming. So
Yeah,
that's fabulous.
our New Ulm program started in 1981.
Wow.
So we've been around Minnesota since 53, but we've been in the Brown County area since 1981.
And that's a great footprint.
Yeah.
Because I know when I graduated from high school, and that's really close. So yeah, that's been a while. So yeah, now you guys from the area?
I live outside of Henderson.
Okay.
And I live outside of St. Peter,
Okay.
in the Cleveland area.
Great. And so does your office time, are you in the office every day? Do you have remote working opportunities? What does that look like for you?
For me, I work completely remote. So once COVID hit, our organization kind of changed. We kind of closed our physical buildings and went fully community-based. So a lot of our employees went and worked remotely, and so a lot of us do just work remotely, and it has been wonderful. So I just work part-time remotely, and Melissa is in building.
So when I came back after COVID, we have 2 programs still in buildings. Prior to COVID, we had 7 or 8 buildings.
Yeah, 8 buildings.
We now just only have 2 buildings left that are brick and mortar, and they're our building here in New Ulm, and then our building in Mankato on Energy Drive. So when I came back, I started our in-house program back up, and that's referred to as EASE. So it's for our 55 and older population. And so those were the first 2 programs to be back up and running beyond our employment program. That never stopped running. That went through COVID. We had a lot of workers that were never laid off. So October, we had our first clients back in buildings, and then our community group, they started January.
Yeah,
The first
January.
group started in New Ulm, January of 21, but we can talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But the question, do I work in a building or do I work at home? I do go to a building every day, so I go between our Mankato building and our New Ulm building. So I feel pretty fortunate that I get to be with clients every day and
Yeah.
see clients.
Yeah, yeah.
I just show up to the building so I can hang out with the clients.
Sort of
For the
like when
things,
you
yeah.
feel like you're Norm on Cheers.
Yes.
And I can tell that I'm getting older because I say that reference, and
Yeah.
our younger staff are like,
Who's Norm?
Who's
Who's Norm?
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah, we get that a lot too. So that's okay. It's wisdom. I just think it's wisdom. So I was telling you before we started that I was going through some of my files and updating and making things more current and relevant. And I wrote MRCI, and I looked at that and thought, what does that stand for? I really honestly did not know, and I'm willing to admit what I don't know, and I had to Google it and discovered that it is Managed Resources Connections, Inc.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Do you
What
want
does
to
that
explain?
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain why
Tell
that
me
is?
what that means.
So MRCI started out in Mankato, and so for how many years? I mean, 65 years. It was Mankato Rehabilitation Center Incorporated because we were based in Mankato. And then over the years, our programs grew and our footprint grew, and we had to change with the need. And so in 2018, we changed the name to Managed Resource Connections Incorporated to cover all the programs and all the people that we served, and it's just not in Mankato anymore. So our name is changing with the times just like we are.
Yeah, and change is good. Can be a little uncomfortable at times,
Yeah.
but when you embrace it
Yeah.
and see the power of it. So you'd mentioned COVID. How did that impact your clients? I mean, you said a lot of them continued to work through COVID. Did that put them in the pool where they had essential workers?
Yeah, we have a lot of workers at grocery stores and gas stations and Walmart,
Yeah.
big box stores, and so they were essential workers through it,
Wow.
through a lot of it. So pre-COVID, we had our building in New Ulm and Fairmont, 2 in Mankato, 1 in Rosemount, 1 in Shakopee, 1 in Chaska.
Yep.
And so we did in-house work, and so distributed work that we would contract through outside companies. So we did work in-house, but then we also had individuals out in the community working at a variety of locations. And they may have a job coach with them, and so maybe a crew is working with a job coach, or just individuals are independently working alone, with staff coming in and checking up every once in a while. But then we have just a huge amount of people that work 100% independently, and they have MRCI as a resource. So they maybe meet once a month with their employment worker. But they are
Wow.
independently hired at the companies that they work for. And so when pre-COVID, we maybe were the employer on record, and so we maybe contracted with that company and then paid them their wages, paid the individuals. That has now completely changed. So COVID hit, we shut down our in-house program. All of our essential workers continued to work, and we met with the businesses and said, now you are the employer on record. And we have, in New Ulm specifically, Brown County, we have great community partners. We partnered with MLC for probably over 30 years now. So that first fall happened, and they said, we need our workers. And we said, we're not providing staff. And they said, okay, we'll hire them. And so it's still today, 5 years later, we have folks that are working there independently. There are built-in supports. MLC is a great partner.
And that's using their cafeteria, right?
Yep,
That's their-
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I love
So,
that place.
Yeah. So
I
we
don't want to
just-
cook.
I know.
It is a great place. It's probably the best secret in town.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The best value.
Yes.
Yep, definitely.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what really changed was our in-house work.
Okay, now you said there were about 120 clients in the New Ulm area.
Yep.
What does that number look like throughout the company? Am I
Oh.
throwing you
Yep.
Throughout the company, that's
just a ballpark?
Oh my goodness, I'm still drawing a complete blank.
It has to be,
I would say it's well over, I would say it's
Yeah.
between like 800.
And a
Because you-
thousand,
Thousand.
somewhere.
Because you're looking at employment, you're looking at,
Yeah.
ongoing supports, you're
Yeah.
looking at our community
community-based,
programs.
virtual programs,
Yeah,
all of it. Yeah, I would say between 800 and 1,000,
Yeah.
and it
What
fluctuates.
what an amazing, exciting footprint that is. You know,
and
a
it
lot
does
of
fluctuate because
Yeah.
we'll get referrals all the time.
Right.
And then somebody might work their way out of our program because they no longer need us, which that's great, right?
that's the best compliment you
Yes.
get is when they
Oh,
don't
yes.
need you anymore.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. How exciting. So when you think about that huge imprint, that footprint across the area in southern Minnesota, it's not just Brown County, but it's a big, vast area. And think of all the jobs opportunities that you bring. And like we were talking, those essential jobs that people need, that people relied on. And it was
And
amazing.
the workforce has
Yeah.
changed now, obviously. So we have companies calling us now.
Yeah.
Isn't that a nice
Yeah.
feeling?
Yeah, it's great. We used to go to companies and say, could we carve this part of the job out? And could we train someone to do this part of the job? And sometimes we would get takes on it, and sometimes we wouldn't.
Yeah.
But now it seems like we're having businesses call and say,
We need
okay,
a
we have
worker."
these
Yep.
10 things that we need to get done, and we want to take it off their plate. Do you have somebody that can do this? So that's fabulous.
So a lot of what you do is you see the need and then you find the client who would be the
Yep.
best match. And it could be a long-term placement,
Oh, yeah,
correct?
definitely.
Yep.
It's not just temp
Absolutely.
work or anything,
No.
it's their
They're
natural.
competitively employed, just like you and I would be.
Great. What about one of the things that my husband asked me, he says, "Who are you talking to today?" And I said, "MRCI." And do you guys offer any benefit packages, or does that all come with their employment? The people who are the record of employer.
That comes with their employment.
Okay,
So
so-
if I am hired by MLC directly, their benefits are the same as anybody else's would. So
That's amazing.
yeah, so it would just be just the same for anybody else, but they might just have an MRCI staff check in on them once a month to see how things are going. But
So
yeah, they're
awesome.
competitively employed with the business.
That is great. Now, there's this, like you said, lots of different avenues, kind of like different arms
Yep.
of what MRCI does. Tell me a little bit about what the MRCI does in Brown County. What are the avenues
Yep.
for your clients?
So MRCI across the board is an employment first organization, so that's always our first focus. So we have an employment group here in town, and we serve roughly about 60 individuals. And then we have our 55 and older program that's at the building. So there's roughly about 20 individuals that participate in that program. And then we have I want to say our new program, but it was new because of COVID, and now it's already, 4 years
Yeah.
old. So our community day service program. And so that is one staff and 4 individuals together all day long.
I love
And so-
that. I love that
so the
because
staff-
we call a lot
Yes.
when we have things that we need to get
Yep.
done. And I know they're always looking for good programming.
Yep. We like to volunteer.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of volunteering. It's building those community partnerships, and it's really for our folks to be known in their community.
Yeah.
Which in in a town like New Ulm, our folks have been here most of their life, so they have some really good built-in relationships already. But it's great for our group that goes into Lola's on Monday morning, I think, and the workers know the client's name.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's not, oh, here's
Yeah.
Melissa and her group.
Yeah.
They're able to call the clients by name.
Well, that's what sets MRCI apart from others, I think, in a way, because every time I've worked with your clients or with your workers, it's very real. Does that make sense? It's,
Yeah.
there's a real connection
Yeah.
there. There's a definite.
Yeah, it's not fake.
No, it's not.
No.
I mean,
No.
there's mutual respect between everyone, and I just, when they come in to help us, when we do the crazy
yeah.
things like
They love the
Oh, gosh, yeah.
backpack.
the backpack
backpack,
sorting
yeah.
stuff.
And I know that first year you were a little apprehensive, like, is this gonna work?
Yeah.
Man, they can sort.
They
Oh,
proved
they
me
sort,
wrong.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and you give them a job, they're gonna
Yeah.
finish it
Yeah.
to the fullest.
Yes, their time, I remember
Yep.
my first year in, they were unpacking brand new backpacks, taking the plastics out, taking the cardboard
Yeah.
inserts out, and I knew that they were supposed to be here for a certain amount of time. And I went over to talk to the worker, and I says, well, I realize you guys have to leave. Oh, no. No, we're not leaving until this is done.
Yeah, we finished.
And so, and
Yeah.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then for our food program, the coming down and helping,
Yep.
you know, unpack the pallets of food that come in, and I love telling the story to, you know, the clients, and they like to know, okay, so what do you do with this food? Well, this is what we do with the food, and there's some that I see out on the street, and they've gotten to know me,
Yeah,
and it's
right.
hi,
Yeah.
and you know, it's just,
Yeah.
it's like fun.
Yeah, those things give them a sense of pride of
Yes.
helping their community out and giving back to the community that gives so much to them.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. So sum it up in one word for me. I'm gonna give you guys each a second. Okay, sum up MRCI in one word for the New Ulm area.
Ooh. Like engaging just like jumps out at
Okay,
me.
engaging. Love it. And
Inclusive, just the same. New Ulm has, since I started here, New Ulm has just been so welcoming to everything that MRCI has tried, or new programs and, you know, employment. And so it's all just been inclusive
I love
to
it.
everything.
I love it. So if someone wants to volunteer or get more information about any of your programming, phone number to call would be?
Our main phone number for our Mankato office is 507-386-5600. Our website, though, has a variety of avenues to check out. So volunteer, donate, learn more about our programs, and that's mymrci.org. So just
Love it.
mymrci.org.
Okay.
And I would be remiss if I'd better just plug really quickly. We do have our thrift store in town.
Yes.
Bargains. And they started in 1997, and that is a 100% volunteer program.
I love,
So-
it's one of my favorite haunts, and when my kids were little, we would go thrifting together, and we
Oh.
always had to get to the MRCI
Yeah.
Yeah,
thrift
so
store.
we're fortunate that they support our programs, but they are 100% volunteer run,
Which is amazing.
and so that's fabulous.
It does take our village,
Yeah, definitely.
and our
Yes.
village has lots of different personalities and needs, and
Yes.
it's great that when we can pull together and meet those needs together.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think I gotcha. I think I
Okay,
got you.
that's
See,
right.
that didn't hurt.
No, not at all.
No, so again, we have Melissa and Stacy here from MRCI, and they're filling us in on some of the great things that are happening in southern Minnesota and predominantly here in New Ulm as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to give them a call. If you need to get a hold of us at the United Way, we have a lot of things going on, and always a need for volunteers. You could reach out to me at Sandra at United Way, New Ulm, Sandra Uni, United Way, Brown County Area.org, or you could call our office at 507-354-6512, and we would love to answer the phone and help you out in any way you can. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll do this again.
Yes.
Sounds good. We
All right.
can do it.
Thank you. Thank you.